ignition on a '01 Chevy Tahoe. Now the driver came in and complained that the rear air was not blowing cold. But here's the point of this video. When you have a vehicle that has front and rear AC, don't forget about the rear. Now in the front, as we began disassembling this, we got to the orifice tube. Now as you can see, the orifice tube has got all kinds of debris in it. This is what a good orifice tube should look like. So we knew the front was bad. But again, with the rear air conditioning, we need to check that as well. Because one thing you don't want to do is tell the people that you need a compressor, orifice tube, receiver dryer, rebuild the front, send them out, and then they come back and say, yeah, but the rear still isn't working. If you have this much debris in the front, you probably do in the rear as well. So we've gathered our evidence from the front. We know we clearly need the front. Now in the rear of this air conditioning, instead of an orifice tube, it has an expansion valve. It operates differently. It still is the control device for the heat-cold exchange. As you can see over here, this expansion valve is buried pretty deep. So you actually need to come back here and pull this out as well. You can see it just threads onto the two pipes. But then when you look inside, now as you can see in the big port in the expansion valve, it's just like we've got a clean and a dirty orifice tube. When you go to the other side of the expansion valve, you can see the debris inside there. So the debris that did actually sneak past this traveled to the rear and plugged up the rear expansion valve as well. So you see they ought to look more like this if there was not any restriction, but if there's a restriction, it's going to be plugged up. So we've gathered our evidence from the front. We know the front system is clearly bad, and from the back, it's clearly bad.